The surprise winner in the European elections is the independent candidate Dana Rosemary Scallon. The former Eurovision singer took the third and final seat in Connacht Ulster. In Munster, Fine Gael MEP John Cushnahan retained his seat. In Leinster, a battle for the fourth seat ended in success for the Green Party's Nuala Ahern. She retained her seat at the expense of Fine Gael's Alan Gillis.
It was a stunning victory for the Eurovision singer turned Euro politician, and her jubilant supporters were savouring every moment of their triumph at the Bundoran Count Centre this evening. And in the moment of that triumph, Dana said she'd be a strong, powerful voice for the west of Ireland in Europe.
Oh, I feel absolutely wonderful. The people of Connacht Ulster have spoken clearly. You don't have to be part of a big, well-greased political party to get a seat, to be elected, and I think that's wonderful for democracy, and I hope it's going to inspire people of whatever views following on, that they will have that confidence that they can buck the system, that they can get elected, and they can be a voice for the people.
In the end, Dana was 8,000 votes ahead of the other independent candidate, Marion Harkin, who also astonished the political parties with the success of her campaign based on developing the West.
Obviously, I'm delighted, thrilled with the vote I got. Disappointed. I really wanted to take this seat. I said from the very beginning of this campaign, I wasn't dipping my toe in the water to test the temperature, even though it was my first time out. I was jumping right in, and I did. And I swam most of the way, Jim. I would like to have got to the finishing line victorious.
At the end of a count that produced surprise after surprise, Fine Gael's Joe McCartan was also elected without reaching the quota. Earlier, Fianna Fáil's Pat the Pope Gallagher took the first seat. The biggest loser was his party colleague Noel Tracy.
We're good at losing seats and winning seats, but we're better at winning than losing. And we have a track record of winning. It's not a major setback. I can't understand how we lost it, to be honest. I don't know why.
Jim Cahay, RTE News, Bundoran.
This afternoon came the moment John Cushnahan had waited for. 2 days after the tally men forecast he would lose his seat in Munster, the Fine Gael MEP had more than 25,000 votes to spare over his nearest opponent, Paula Desmond of the Labour Party. Afterwards, he spoke about Sinn Féin's improved performance.
They've done particularly well in this election, but there can be no ambivalence about it. You can't have an Armalite in one hand and a ballot paper in the other.
The return of Pat Cox to Europe was confirmed after the fifth count at lunchtime. Fianna Fáil's Jerry Collins was elected on the second count last night. On the first count, his party colleague Brian Crowley had been elected with 154,000 first preferences, and so no changes on the Munster team returning to Strasbourg. In Leinster, Fianna Fáil's two outgoing MEPs, Jim Fitzsimons and Liam Hyland, were lifted shoulder high after they took the last two seats in a well-managed vote-splitting exercise. There was great joy in Fine Gael for Avril Doyle, who topped the poll and was elected first. In the tense battle for the final seat, Fine Gael's Alan Gillis lost out to Nuala Ahern of the Greens, who eventually had 10,000 votes more than the former IFA leader. Both Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael got 34% of the vote here in Leinster, but Fine Gael got only one seat.
We had more than sufficient votes for two seats, more than sufficient. In fact, we had a number of thousands more than we needed. It didn't just fall right, and I don't know who's responsible for that, or if anybody's responsible. It doesn't matter. It's a matter of no consequence to me now at this stage.
Party colleague Avril Doyle now replaces him in Europe. Joe O'Brien, RTE News.